Okay, so Royal Enfield Classic 650 has arrived last night. About to jump on it now with the boys. Go for a bit of a ride. Let you know what I think. Let's go. Now, I quite like the look of this bike. I do love the classic style of the nacelle. Love the look of that, love the clock. I like the fact that it's got the tripper there, that's kind of cool. Fuel gauge, gear shift indicator. Not exactly the kind of things you'd expect to have on a classic 650, but that's pretty cool that it does. Little clock in there as well, and a trip meter and that sort of stuff. So love the look of that. Love the overall looks of the bike. Gotta admit though, don't really like this colour. Love the look of the classic chrome when I saw one of those. Was really hoping we were going to get that teal version because I think that's stunning. But this one just doesn't quite do it for me. Not really a fan of the old school Royal Enfield logo on the side there. Would rather see some badges, but I suppose that's some personal preference. So overall looks pretty good. Just not this colour for me. Don't get me wrong, I like the burgundy. I like the white cream colour, I just don't like them together, and normally I would like that sort of colour scheme. I just think the design of it's not as good as it should be, as good as it could be. Let's just check out the brakes when we get around this bend here. Got a few of the boys behind me, but they're a little way back. That's alright. Okay, that ABS kicks in real quick on the rear. Not such a bad thing, I suppose. A little bit slippery through here. Okay, so the mirrors on this bike are actually pretty good. They're not vibrating like a lot of Royal Enfield mirrors do, and they're also don't look like they're going to come loose. They look pretty solid. So I actually quite like those. I reckon they'd be staying on this bike for mine. But we do have on the way a whole heap of parts from TEC in the UK, including about 20 bar end mirrors that are coming in. I think about 10 of them have already been spoken for or sold, so we do have about 10 sets available. If you're interested in those or any other parts from TEC, but if it's something we don't stock that you're interested in, let me know and I'll see if I can add it to the next shipment. Now, I love the Royal Enfield 650 engine. I think it's an absolute cracker, but this bike is substantially heavier than some of the other models, and you really do feel that extra weight. The engine is nowhere near as eager to get up to speed. So I was sitting on this freeway, I was doing about 100, I could drop back to 80 here, it's an 80 zone. But yeah, this is nowhere near as eager to get up to speed as the engine in, say, there's the Continental GT and the Interceptor. I think you've got to think about this bike a little bit differently. I think if you think of this bike as a more capable classic 350, that's kind of how you need to think about this bike. When you think about it like that, it's fine. Now, it'll do 100, it'll do more than 100, no dramas at all. It just takes a little bit longer to get there than, say, some of the lighter bikes in the 650 range. And I must admit, that did surprise me. Hadn't actually looked at the specs until last night to find out this was actually 240 or 243 kilos, something like that. So it is a heavy bike. So just a little note there. Anyway, going to keep cruising down the highway here. We're about to come into to Wollongong, and then it's through to Nowra, at that point I'm going to get some fuel and then cut across to Nerriga pub for lunch. Okay, just as we come into Nowra here, one thing I did notice sitting on that freeway was there's quite noticeable vibrations through the bars and through the foot pegs. Now I've ridden the Classic 500 and the old Classic 350 and they definitely have, you know, massive vibrations, but the new Classic 350 doesn't, and I haven't really noticed it on any of the 650 range. So yeah, that I found a little bit surprising. Good. So nice little lunch there at Nerriga pub. Love that. Had a Nerriga burger, well worth checking out if you're around this way. Good roads. Okay, the suspension on this bike. That front suspension is really plush, soaking up all these bumps. Really well suited to this style of bike. That combined with the seat's really comfortable as well, means you could ride this all day. I will say the rear shocks are a little bit firm, but it's a brand new bike, they'll sort of bed in a little bit. But yeah, really impressed with that front suspension. So let me know what you think of the Royal Enfield Classic 650. Have you ridden one? If you have, what do you think of it? Do you like the look of it? I like the look of it. I think it looks like a great bike. Not particularly this colour. You know, I think the other two colours that we get in Australia here look better. And I think there's some other colours available overseas that we don't get here. I'm just going to enjoy this ride home now. Look at this countryside, fantastic. Okay, so that's the first ride I've done on the Royal Enfield Classic 650. A little bit of freeway, a little bit of highway, a lot of country roads, a little bit of dirt and gravel roads. Pretty impressed. Good bike. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. If this is the first time you've seen one of our videos, then normally there's 3 of us doing a review. We've just started doing these sort of first impression vlogs. If you'd like to see more of that, let me know. But check out our other reviews, check out our rider stories. That's what we really like producing, is the stories we do with other motorcyclists. Check them out, give us a subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.